What is up, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 TNT Fireworks Buying Guide. If you've never been to my channel, welcome. If you're wondering who I am and why you should even listen to me, I've been a safe and sane California legal pyro for 28 years of my life. I know every single firework like the back of my hand. I've spent way too much money on fireworks. So, if you're trying to find the best show you can get for your family this year in 2019 for 4th of July, you came to the right channel. I have several videos on what you should buy starting this series for 2019 on the buyer's guides. I'll have one for Phantom and DFS if you have one available. But first is going to be TNT. So we're going to go over every single item first. And for my veterans, you know that I don't like assortments. But unfortunately, if I had to buy one, I'll go over what I would buy. So first up, we're going to go over single items. I'm a firm believer and you should cherry pick and only buy single items, steer way clear of assortments, and only go with single items. I'm going to go over what I think you should buy and highly recommend from TNT single items. This is going to be a long and extensive list. Not every stand will have some of these items. You'll notice this is for the maximum. Like some stands are very small. You'll notice like there'll be like one little kind of wooden box. Other will be like up to 4 and huge and have lots of stuff. It just depends on how much that stand gets for shipment and that kind of stuff. So I want to go over everything possible so you have more information you need. It's better to have too much information than not enough. So I'm going to go over every single fountain that I think you should buy and ones I think you should skip and why. Why you should listen to me. Like I said, I have 28 years of experience doing this stuff. Trust me, I have a decent following. Everybody preaches my gospel. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into this buyer's guide and enough of me yapping here. So right off the bat, we'll go from the cheapest to the most expensive fountains and kind of novelties. Of course, mainly we're going to have some novelties because of the cheapest items. We'll go over those and then we'll get into the fountains. Poppets, absolutely skip it. You can get these on Amazon. You can get them at grocery stores. You can get them everywhere. You probably see them already at grocery stores and Costco's and Targets, you name it. Snakes. These are the only novelties other than poppets that are like, they're hit or miss. I mean, some kids like, the little ones like to watch them grow. If you have little ones that are intrigued by, weird looking stuff, snakes are pretty cool. Only problem with snakes is they'll stain your concrete. So do them in the road or put them on a piece of foil because they are mess makers. Mini monsters. Now this is a meh. It's not a highly recommend. It's a meh. It's not a skip. It's a meh. So it's $2.99. It's not a bad little fountain. If you're on a budget, it's not bad to throw in there for some items to light. It's going to give you probably better, effects than some of the fountains in an assortment would have. Smoke balls, a lot of people like smoke. I would personally say skip it. It's another meh. One thing you can do, I would say always skip the lightning flash. Never buy these. These are these really blinding, bright, obnoxious. They leave spots in your eyes when you light them. They're obnoxious. But if you really want smoke, you can put some smoke balls in front of, you light a bunch of the smoke balls and you quickly light the lightning flash and you got a nice little strobe and smoke effect. That's a little tip you can, if you're on a budget and you can only afford some of the smaller items, that's a nice little trick you can do. TNT blasts, love these things. What I like to do is I like to wait till their fuse gets really low, throw them up in the air, and then you got your little aerial type effect. Careful with that one. You could burn yourself or don't hold it too long because it'll blow up your hand. Only do that if you have a brain. But hey, or do it if you don't have a brain. Just don't say you learned it here. Anyways, crazy eyeballs. These are pretty much the same as crackle balls, but they do a little spinny effect. Really like these. Not every stand will have those. Everybody loves ground bloom flowers, but unfortunately these do not last as long as they used to. They're very short and sweet and to the point nowadays. But for $2.99, if you gotta have them, you gotta have them. And if you just wanted to buy these, I would say no. Do not buy lightning flash. Everybody on your block and your family will thank you because they can't see the other fireworks you lit after these because there's these little strobe blotches, blind spots in their eyes. Anyways, skip the poker chips. Those are just terrible. Skip flashing fountains. And for the love of God, skip this is a new item. Why would they even announce this as a new item? The confetti item, the confetti cannon, you could buy these on Amazon. You can get them at a party store and probably for cheaper. These are just stupid. They're those little pull string poppers. In fact, you probably are going to get poppers in like the kits you get at Target and grocery stores. So just don't even look at the confetti cannon. It's just awful. Can't even believe that's a new item for 2019. Anyways, orchid. This is a highly recommended item by me. I love this thing. This is one of my favorite cheap fountains by TNT Orchid. A highly recommended fountain. Love it. $4.99. It's got a really high crackle effect. Super, super good for the price. Highly recommended. Do not skip it. Love it. So highly recommended on this one. There's our first one right there. Next one. Yeah. Next up is Cool Breeze, another highly recommended. Now, this one may not be at every stand. It's also known as Crickets. So if you don't see Cool Breeze, look for Crickets. It has like a cricket on it. I know, go figure. Super good fountain, good crackle, good effects. Highly recommend the Cool Breeze. Fire Crackle, another highly recommended little novelty item. These are like long strips of crackle. They're kind of like little fuses. So another cool tip I would give you is you can use them to fuse fountains together. So you can put one fire crackle here and tie it to another one like this and watch it crackle and light the next one, so you don't have to constantly light things, and it's kind of like a little cool thing you can do in between. Skip the jalapeno popper, skip the mano a mano. These aren't going to be at every stand anyways, so just skip it. Crackling Cactus, once again, this one isn't going to be at every stand, but it's a decent fountain. It has 4 crackle balls on the side. It's kind of cool little effect. So if you can see it, and it's a meh. It's not going to be as high on the list as a Cool Breeze and Orchid. But Piccolo Pete's, everybody loves these things. I'm not going to cherry coat it. Everybody smashes them with a hammer and tapes them up and blows them up. But they are changing the composition nowadays, so this is the same. But, you know, even if you just want screaming things, everybody loves Piccolo Pete's. So, of course, I'm going to say get the Piccolo Pete's. It's buy one, get one for $5.99. I believe it's cheaper than Phantom. Purple Rain, another highly recommended item, $5.99. If you have a DFS, if you don't, then just ignore what I'm saying. Go to DFS for cool fountains. They're the same thing as Purple Rain. Purple Rain has it's a 3-tuber. It's got some color. It's got some crackle. It's got some sparks for $5.99. You really can't get a better fountain other than maybe the Orchid, but you know, I believe the Purple Rain is going to last you longer. Neon Force is not going to be at every stand. Sir Dumps-A-Lot, unless you have kids that are going to find this funny, or, you know, maybe a blonde girlfriend, I don't know. I would say skip the Dumps-A-Lot. It's just $6.99 overpriced. Killer Bee, these are I like these. I prefer to get like 4 of them in an assortment, but they don't sell that anymore. They're basically short little screamers with like a little tiny fountain effect. But, you know, it's a meh. It's not a skip. It's a meh. If you need something to fill it, it's there. Anyways, we're on our first item here that's new. It's the BOGO Rocket Fountain. So you buy one, get one free. After watching it a little further, it's just pretty similar to the Orchid. I actually really like the art of this. TNT usually has decent art. I kind of want to buy one just to put it on a shelf. So this is I almost want to say it's just an Orchid placed on top of this plastic here. So you know, at first I didn't want to recommend the rocket fountain. But it's BOGO. I mean, it's okay. It looks cool. You light them both at the same time. Maybe use a firecracker to fuse them up. You know, it's not bad. You know, I really like the look of it. It's not a highly recommend. It's just a recommend, you know. Anyways, we're gonna get into our medium-sized fountains here. Look at the iris. This one's a really, really good finale on a budget. Not every stain has this, so this is a recommend. Pink Diamonds as well. Nice finale on a budget. These 2 fountains right here, these aren't gonna be at every stand. The Little Red Devil may. It's buy one get one free, so it's $5 a fountain. Little Red Devil, the last ones I've had just were meh. I mean, I almost want to say skip it. It's a meh. Black Widow, same thing. They're just very weak. I'm just going to say skip it, and you're better off, you know, buying a Luck of the Irish or Pink Diamonds. Or if you don't have those, you're better off buying, you know, Purple Rains and Rocket Fountains. I would skip the Little Red Devils. Morning Glories, if you have kids, you're probably going to want to buy these. They love these stupid things. They're pretty short and small now, kind of lame. Everglow and Exploding Pinatas, these also aren't going to be at every stand, but both of these are a giant Skipperino. Do not buy those. Those are terrible. Night Treasure, another one that's not every stand, but this is a highly recommended item. This is going to be your best finale on a budget. It's a nice fan fountain. It's awesome. It's if you can find the Night Treasure, it's a treasure, because this is one of the best cheap finales you can get around town nowadays. Spiral Light, pretty lame. Skip it. Three Amigos, skip it. Main Squeeze is a new one, I believe. I didn't really like it from what I remember. Magic Beans, this is a highly recommend. This is a new item from last year. Or no, 2 years ago? I don't remember. It's 2 years ago. Yeah, Magic Beans, if they still have it, super good fountain. Another new one is Hot Point. I'll show you a video of this one. So this Magic Beans is a highly recommended. So is Night Treasure. Don't forget that. And we're skipping Main Squeeze and 3 Amigos. This is just overpriced for the effects you get in here. You're better off buying a bunch of Purple Rains and lighting those instead of buying the 3 Amigos. Trust me on that one. Hot Point, I will show you that now. For the price, it's okay. It's a very low fountain. It does have a whistle. This used to be the Phantom Home Run fountain. For the price, it's a meh. I mean, it's not a must-have. I'm not gonna rant and rave about it, but I wish it was BOGO. The price is a bit steep. It should be around $9.99 or $8.99. That's the problem with it right now. I can't recommend it due to the price. Fiery Scorpions, no. Raise Your Flag, no. Oblivion, yes. Buy an Oblivion if you can find one. $19.99, decent fountain. Has a lot of tubes in this circle right here. Really enjoy that one. Independence Day is a big fat no. Let me scroll down here so we can go on to the bigger fountains. We're getting into the bigger stuff now. Independence Day, no. Absolutely not. Good vs. Evil, no. Absolutely not. Freedom Fountain. This is a new item. Let me clear my X's here. This is not a highly recommend, but I'm honestly impressed. It has some decent height. It has some decent crackle. So this is another finale on a budget type of thing. I would still probably go over the Night Treasure over this. I'm not really impressed with it, but for a new item, nonetheless, it's okay. Power On. Actually, I recommend this over the Power or the Freedom Fountain for a finale. I really enjoyed the Power On. It's actually a pretty good fountain. It's got a lot of rewraps out there. So it's not actually made by TNT. It might be. I don't know. It's made in the same factory by a lot of the same people, but Power On is pretty good. Zombie Apocalypse, skip. American Spirit and Sizzler, skip. Stacks Up, skip. Laser Master's a new one. I can't find anything on it, so I'm going to say skip. Wild Side. This one was decent. I'll give it a decent. It's not a must-have, but we're $25.99, so it better be freaking awesome, right? So I'm just going to say meh. Skip, basically. It's a meh. It's not a skip. It's a eh. Wild Turkey, skip. Miss Liberty, skip. Sparknado. Since this is a BOGO, this is a highly recommended item. Really like this one. Now, this is one of the fountains that I have actually never had, but I've seen videos and heard friends. I've heard it, a lot of people said it was decent. I'm gonna give it a more than a meh. It's a recommend. If you have the money, that's the thing. It's a $29.99 fountain. That's BOGO. It's decent for the price. It's eh. Tasmania Cyclone, skip. Magnetic Heap, skip. Anyways, now we're into the big boy expensive finales. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what you should buy here. The only two I could recommend for if you want to spend the money is the opening show is by far, if you only have access to Phantom and TNT, this is going to give you your biggest bang for your buck. Literal. It's going to have sparks everywhere. It's going to be huge. $70 though. But if you have the budget for it, you have money to blow, your family's going to be like, wow, that was the best fountain you've ever bought, because it's crazy. It shoots everywhere. It's got a huge spread of crackle. Delirium, if you want to save the $20, is probably another item you can go with. It's a really good finale. So these two right here are your top finales out of TNT. And then, like I said, the Sparknado and Electrolytes and Wild Side up there. Skip these. So there you go. We have kind of a short list for single items. But if you have the budget going down this far, there's a line right here. Look at all those green marks right there. So that is all the items there for single items for TNT. Next up, we already went over the new and exclusive stuff. I'm going to show them on a separate screen here so you guys are able to see all that. Last but not least, if I were to buy an assortment, what would I buy? So absolutely skip the 49er because they increased the price. So just skip that. Triple Heat, I mean, if you have... Okay, so triple heat is a tough one because you get sparklers, ground blooms, piccolo peats. It's not bad if you need to buy all those three anyways, and you only want a few items. It's an okay thing. Skip the Pyroplex. Skip that. I'm just having a hard time because these are all just terrible. I mean, if I had to buy one, it would probably be the family tray pack, but that's it. I mean, assortments are just so bad. I mean, they increased the price on the Big Bang, which they didn't add anything to it. They just added $50 extra to it, and there's nothing new in it. You don't get any extra fireworks from it. If I had to buy one assortment, it'd be the family pack, and I mean, even then, it's going to last you maybe 20 minutes. You're better off spending the $45 on single items. I guarantee you, it's going to be better than the like 7 fountains you get in there. So stay away from assortments. Watch the rest of my buyer's guides. Go to Phantom and TNT and just pick out single items on the budget list. I'll do an ultimate buyer's guide, I guess, from all 3 of the stands. But just don't buy assortments. It's just such a waste of money. I mean, like, I can pick you out, like if you had a budget of, maybe $50, 2 orchids, some mini monsters, some purple rains, a Luck of the Irish, or even a night treasure. I mean, you may have fewer items, but you'll definitely have better effects. A lot of the better effects are in the single items. The assortments are all going to be the same thing. I mean, if you think about it, fountains can only do so many things. They have color, they have crackle, they have the little globule effects. Fountains can only do so many things, so you have to keep that in mind. They're not like the aerials. They don't do certain things as well. So you have to keep in mind. You have to figure out what effects you like. If you like crackle, if you like hide, if you like colors, if you like just different effects, then you kind of have to do your own research. I'm a firm believer in doing your own research when you do everything yourself. So just, all you got to do is, like, say you don't believe me on Power On. What you go to is TNT Power On Firework. You look that up. There's thousands of videos of all this. We'll go to my buddy Jeff Valentine's video here. And he kind of showcases of what it's a nice controlled environment, because this is a product that somebody else actually had and not something that TNT uploaded. So right here's one of the better effects of the Power On. A lot of nice crackle here. It's not bad at all. So I mean, I skipped a lot of it. I know I like to skip through the fountain because I don't like to ruin fireworks. I like to experience them. I like to see the stages. Usually I like to skip to 2-3 stages of the firework. This is the finale stage. It's actually really good. It's got a lot of spread. It's got a lot of height. Highly recommend it. So I recommend doing that. Just looking up on YouTube, seeing, go to the same thing. We'll go to Sparknado. We put a P in front of it. Anybody else I know? We'll go Jeff Valentine again. So if you're not subscribed to Jeff Valentine, he uploads all his, he's another Safe and Sane Pyro. Also Redbeard. This is kind of early in the day, so some of the effects are kind of washed out, but it's a nice long-lasting fountain. It's got really good colors, really good crackle. So it's awesome, to say the least. Anyway, so I highly recommend doing your own research. Don't just listen to me. Don't just take my word for it. Go out, pick your own items. You'll just feel so much more accomplished at the end of the day when you actually put the time and effort to build your own list, your own show, and when everybody's hooping and hollering on the 4th, you know that you put all the time and work in it, and it just feels better at the end of the day. Anyways, thanks for watching this TNT Buyer's Guide. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the Phantom one, and I'll see you in the DFS one. I have an unboxing video coming up. If you're still watching and you're a diehard fan, I'll leave a link to buy my t-shirts and stickers. Don't forget to join the Pyro Discord. You guys know if you've been watching this long. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.